Hey Charles, how's it going today? Well, we're getting into a group that, if you heard our last review, it was a group that had their own kind of cult following, and the album is considered to be expensive. This group is a little less like that. It's a little bit easier to find their albums, or at least one album. But this is more like something that I was into, you know? And the album that I had was not the one we're going to be reviewing. But if I had found this one, I would have gotten it because I wanted to get more of their stuff, but it was kind of hard to find more than one. But it's Goose Creek Symphony. Yep.
Self-titled, right?
Yeah.
I think it has a, like, Goose Cafe or anything like that. Whatever. Goose Creek.
Yep.
I don't know any particular person in the band, but I did look them up on Discog. I think it's this group where there's like been like 35,000 members over the years, or maybe an East Coast version and a West Coast version. But this is the core group of Goose Creekers.
Yeah.
And from what I believe, and now I think the main guy I've heard of him before. Who is he? I think I heard of this guy.
Charles Gearhart.
Yeah, I think I heard vaguely, not like do a lot, but this
Yeah.
is one of those for me. I don't really have much to say other than, well, what year did this come out, Lee, roughly?
It was about 1970.
60s, 70, and okay. I mean, I'm ready to get into it. I didn't know nothing about this one.
Okay.
Unless you got more to add.
Well, they were on the same label as another group called Shiva's Headband. So they were on the same label. But and then the album that I had from this group was called Welcome to Goose Creek. So it was almost like a self-titled, but instead they were welcoming people. Anyway, okay. I'll start. Okay. The first song is All Fly Away. An interesting start to the album. The Dillards also started one of their albums with this song. It's a bit slow, and I'm glad it's as short as it is, but I don't mind it. What do you think?
Well, it sounds like it's kind of gospel influenced, and yeah, short with a slightly old school sounding piano, slightly out of tune, but in that good way, and it's produced, in a way that sounds like it's out in the hallway or something. They're in the room singing. I mean, for what it is, it's a pretty intriguing opener, but I thought, damn, it was a little too short, and I could have heard more of it, to be honest with you. But it was short, but I didn't mind it at all.
Okay. What did you think of Charlie's tune?
My very first thought was, even though, this group's a bit older, it reminds me of some of the work of Steve Earle here, and it's on about the same wavelength with some of his tunes. We get the jaw harp and some pretty decent stomping beat, quite a bit more country than rock here musically, but in the music, not so much vocally. Probably not a bad intro to that style of rock for people, and it sounds more authentic than the Eagles at their attempts to sound like this, for sure. So I enjoyed old Charlie's tune.
All right, I put, this is pretty fun. It's for a certain mood, but when I'm in the mood, this is my kind of stuff. I think it's cool. Now for A Satisfied Mind. They play this well, and I could imagine occasionally hearing it for pleasure, but it's a cover tune other people have done before, and it's not a highlight here, except the last part where the drums sound like he's a carpenter hammering nails was sort of interesting. What do you think?
Now they're back with kind of a gospel country feel here, and I don't know if it's offensive to people out there, but I'm going to guess that good old Kid Rock may have heard songs like this as he attempts these type of sounds himself, but he doesn't succeed like these dudes do. Locally, actually, it does sound a little bit like him, and he's probably mimicking this kind of sound, but it's got that waltz time too, and I'm a big fan of that tempo myself. So far so good on the album. I've enjoyed everything thus far.
All right. What do you think of Confusion?
Now either the band,
Yeah.
influenced them or otherwise. It seems on that kind of wavelength a bit here. This is pretty well sung, and I'm not a massive fan. I just hear something similar there. Enjoy the little path they go down in the chorus. And as far as the whole song goes, I've enjoyed them all thus far. This one seems like the most complete track though, and I've enjoyed this cut the best thus far. It's more subtle in the country feel. Just has a good feel to it overall. Pretty sweet song, actually, Confusion.
All right. I like A Satisfied Mind a little better than this, but this is fine. The sound effects are interesting, but don't really elevate the song. It's another of what I'd call not quite filler, but not quite great either. Okay, now the next song is No News is Good News. This is more like it. It's a good song, and it's the type of stuff I like to hear by them. The strange jam part closing the piece is also quite good, and I was entertained by it as well. What do you think?
Yeah, we're back in the country field here. I'm gonna actually say, funnily enough, I heard guitar work that mimics banjo pretty well, and there was no banjo limited or credited rather on the album, so that's something. That's really interesting. They got a guitar that sounds like a banjo. Uh, this one reminds me of some Carl Perkins a little bit, and not all that at all. Also a bit reminiscent of George Harrison's early guitar work with the Beatles. So it was a fun little song.
Okay. Um, what do you think of talk about Goose Creek and other important places?
Well, yeah, stopping song that also reminds me again a little bit of Steve Earle. I think you might have heard these guys a bit, maybe. It has a southern country rock feel, and that's where the similarities lie, I believe. Great guitar solo on this one. The jaw harmony is the country going. Longest song on the album, and you know what? It could have been longer for my money. It gets downright grimy, psychedelic at points as well. My new favorite song on the album, this one.
Right on. This is quite a great tune. It's totally original and a bit off the wall. And it shows the band has a sense of humor and doesn't mind tripping out the listener on occasion. This is a highlight of the album. And now for Beautiful Bertha. This is another highlight, and I really like this song. This is the type of stuff I like best of the group, and they do it rather well. What do you think?
We get a little bit more bluesy feel on this one. I gotta ask, is there such a thing as a beautiful Bertha? I mean, fans of this show out there, do you know any beautiful Berthas? Leave a comment in the comments. While this one's a bit more rocky, which should be welcome, I mean, they do this fine, but this one for me was a little bit fillerish. I kind of prefer the more country feel they have, to be honest. But not putrid. It's just to me an album.
Okay, that's fair. What do you think of Raid on Brush Creek in 39?
The electric piano sounds really weird. It has to be heard to be understood what the hell I'm talking about. But it sounds sweet as hell. Like this, I think it was connected to a wall or something like that. It had this weird effect to it, and I really enjoyed it. Another short song, and man, I wish it wasn't because I really liked this one.
Okay, I put, this is a short tune, but I do like it. I might not have liked it as much if it were longer, but I do consider it to be one of the good tunes. I dig it. Now for Big Time Saturday Night. Even though it's slightly more of a traditional song musically, I did enjoy this. I thought it could have been a good last song on the album. What do you think?
It's a bit more in the rocking here, very piano driven, and music wise, it's definitely a little more rock. Maybe the vocal structure not as much, but the music wise, it is. I would love to hear a song like this live. Smoky bar, just groove out. And man, so far this album has been a much pleasant experience.
Right on. What do you think of the last song, Symphony Music?
Then they go out with a slow song. I suppose it's a ballad, but kind of more of a world type message, which I suppose we all love each other. So technically a ballad. I mean, it's not too bad, but not really what I ended with. It's a bit of a bore, but I've heard worse for sure. So you know what? I like seven eighths of this album, and it's been a really fun listen. It was a pleasant surprise. It blows away Shiva's headband.
Right on. Okay, I put, this song isn't bad. It's like the type of ballad that the band did sometimes. And I like Goose Creek Symphony more than the group The Band. So this gets props for being better than that group. But I think it's odd to have this song as the closing song because it's slower and a bit drearier than their other material. But the last part is a reprise of I'll Fly Away, which I do like, so that was an interesting move. All right.
Well, this sounds should be worth like a gazillion dollars. And Shiva's headband is worth $1 million or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
It ain't worth a million, but big money. This was way better, and I would be interested in listening to more of these guys, unlike Shiva's headband.
Yeah.
We're gonna start Nantucket stuff. So Shiva's headband with Nantucket, and I gotta find one that I mean. Usually I pick really good shit. The changes lead to life, but I gotta find something from my pick. We'll go in something later maybe, but yeah, no, this was fun. But you gotta, I like country-ish rock. If people think the Eagles did country rock well, they should listen to this.
Yeah.
This blows away the Eagles.
Yep. All right.
Completely. I just didn't really care for the country crap, but
Yeah.
this was a good listen, so I was glad to do it. So
Right on.
for letting me do it, and
Thank you.
for the folks, if you know a hot person, hit up the comments on this video.
They're probably going to live in like a place where the population is only 2 people, him and her, and he's never seen any other woman, so she becomes hot.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps is back here.
All right, well, thank you again, Charles, and take care, everybody. Bye-bye.